everybody? Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin live coverage from ICast. Continuing, Jimmy's back with you again. It's me. Hello. I know you missed me all. With me, special great guest Andrew Hayes of Tackle Talk podcast. How are you doing, man? How is this? I know last year was chaotic too.
Oh yeah, and I mean this is still chaos too. It's controlled chaos. You try and control as much as you can, but there's so much to see and so much to do. It's so overwhelming. Like you walk down that escalator, you're like, where do you even start?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 Walmarts in here full of fishing stuff.
And you know, for what you do, and we were talking about it briefly. It's even more a lot because you're talking about these products, and like you said, it's like, well, you talk to somebody and then you talk to the next guy and then you've already forgot did I like that product? Do I not like that product?
Yeah, that's honestly my hardest part. It's like you're going around. I've probably picked up 400 rods and 200 reels, and it's like when you have it in your hand, I like the way the thumb bar feels. I like the drag star. I like the bearings. I like how this reel feels or whatever. And then you're right, you pick up 5 more, and then you sit there and think, am I going to remember all this in 2 days when I have to do this episode? It's like, so voice memos are your friend, typing out notes, all that kind of stuff, just to try and remember, because there's so much to see.
Yeah. So got in yesterday. What's been like something that stood out to you so far? Anything? And then be honest,
good or bad.
If you feel like it's like it kind of sucks overall, tell me. I want to hear a good and a bad. We haven't asked for a bad.
Okay. I have no problem doing both of those. The good, and I don't know. I don't want to call it surprising, but honest to goodness, that Berkeley Nessie over there. That's it's the flag style soft plastic glide bait. Basically, it's got the joint in the middle. And I was telling them, actually, whenever I told their product development guy, I was like, every video that I've seen of this so far, and I don't know if I've just been missing the good ones or what, but like it's all these videos of it's just like kind of being creeped and sort of wavering a little bit. It's like I got up there in the tank, the test tank, and I was throwing it. It's like you snap that thing almost like you're fishing like a spook or something. I mean, you got to get that thing going hard jointed both ways, and it looks so good in the water. But it's just I hadn't seen a video of it look like that till I got up on the tank and got to do it. So I really liked that. I like the new Corrado. I think they didn't change too much, which I think at this point is a good thing. Like if you look back at previous generation Corrados, like there were drastic changes because it's only 7 generations old before it even completely started. And so there's been a lot of advancements in fishing reels since then. Now I think we're getting a lot this more dialed in, where it was more micro changes. They put the MGL spool on it, which felt a lot better. I was really impressed with the new Daiwa Tatula, the 100. Yeah. And again, the insides of it not changing too much. They're passing down a little bit of that technology from like the Zillion and the Steez and stuff down. But where your thumb sits on like the top, like where the line feeder is below you, there's like a rivet there, and that's where your thumb sits. It sits right in that crevice, and just I have small hands, so that's one of the things sometimes for bait casters for me is hard, is they don't feel comfortable, ergonomic. Right. And this felt very ergonomic, so that was good. So there's a couple good ones. The new Fenwick lines are really good.
Like I heard somebody else talking about.
Yeah, the 2 middle ones I can kind of take or leave, but the high and low end. The high end is the world class. I think they're like $400-something rods, but they're very nice for a Fenwick. And then their $99 Eagle rods are really nice too. So again, the 2 middle ones, the HMG, and they have another one in the middle that I can kind of take or leave. But on the bad side, I would say, and I love this because I can say this like some other people can't. I love this. The St. Croix stuff, I was a little let down by, to be honest. I mean, they're revamping one of the most popular rods in bass fishing, which is the St. Croix Mojo Bass, and the handle, it's got a micro trigger on it, kind of mega bassy feeling like micro trigger, but it's just you put it in your hand, it's tippy, it wants to tip toward the front. I didn't really like, and it won best freshwater rod, so it shows what I know. But
well, no, it shows who paid a lot more.
Well, no comment there. But
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with it. I don't know if it's just because I'm used to a grip and something feeling a certain way. That grip is also taller up and down than it is sideways, so it's almost like flat on the sides. Again, I wasn't a fan of it. The St. Croix reels I can kind of take or leave. The spinning reel has a really weird drag knob on the top that's like a cymbal that's hard to get a hold of and turn, like little stuff. So I don't know. There's good and bad with everything. There's some companies that come out with things and you're like, why did we need this from you? Why did we need a reel from a bait company? Why did we, like, you see that sometimes. But overall, there's some really cool stuff in here too. There's some, I won't give too much away, but if you walk down these aisles, there's some hidden gems of products that don't get the shine that everything else does because they don't have the budgets, because they don't have the marketing behind them.
There's a lot of like low-key swim baits in here.
Yeah, there's some good swim baits.
Yeah.
There's also some good just not bait, rod, or reel products at all. Like things for kayaks that I'd never seen before that we'll talk about on Tuesday's episode, like that kind of stuff. The water bottle type deal kind of stuff. That's like you're looking like I would have never even thought of that, and it's so cool. And they're the people that are sitting at these booths that don't have a lot of the foot traffic, and there aren't too many people coming up. It's like it's the coolest products here. So that's kind of what I love about this. There's hundreds and hundreds of booths. You're gonna find some hidden gems in here if you look hard enough.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's 630 exhibitors this year. It's pretty nuts. Have you checked out any of the new Yamamoto stuff?
I have a little bit. Yeah, their little crawl actually doesn't look bad.
Yeah,
the Yama crawl, I think, is what it's called. I was kind of impressed with that. And Yamamoto, again, one of those ones that you get a little scared when you hear that they get sold to a big money, company that is going to come up. And first thing they did was change the logo, and you're like, oh, here we go, right?
And it's gone.
Gary Yamamoto's baits that have been synonymous with, especially Senko's, but just in general, soft plastics. And then they get sold to venture capital, and you're like, they're changing everything. They started right off the bat, but other than the marketing side of things and the logo, which again I can still kind of take or leave on what the new look is, but the baits seem to still be doing okay, and they seem to be coming out with some new cool stuff. So yeah. What about you? Did you like them?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I like the Yamakra, the Yamatanuki, which has been out. And for me, it's one of those things. I feel like it's a loyalty thing. I like the Gary Yamamoto original. So as soon as you change something, I'm like, I don't like you anymore. But we've got some good friends like Guillermo Gonzalez and Shane Lamont sponsored to those guys. And Shane was like, no, dude, it's still good.
Yep.
And these are guys I trust. They're not getting he would tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Nomad Design. I had Greg DePalma come over. He showed me some unique stuff about some of their deep crankbaits and their jerk baits.
Yeah.
And the keel design on their jerk bait is insane. And the basically it's like a 6XD size deep crank, but with its self-righting bill technology, it'll go 24 feet deep with 12-pound fluoro. It's insane.
Yeah.
Other than that, I love the new Titan 12.
Yeah.
The native Titan 12 kayak is beautiful.
I actually liked the Old Town PDLE, or the EPDL, or whatever they're calling it. Yeah. Cool idea. The one thing I was worried about is I looked at it and I went over and talked to him. I was like, tell me that those pedals don't still move when you have it on, right? Don't tell me that
it's not just.
I have a hard time believing that the gearing in that can just be
it'd have to have an electronic clutch system.
Yeah, because otherwise, I just pictured, it's electronic pedal, but the pedals are still going because they're attached to a gearing system in there, and they were like, no, it doesn't move. So, all right, because that's what I could see. I could see sitting in the kayak, and all of a sudden you put it on autopilot or whatever, and it's just banging your knees or something. It's going up and down, and rest in peace to your shins. But yeah, no, that was pretty slick. It's obviously only on one of the big water, the big 132 or something, and I tried to get it out of them if it would come down to smaller watercraft at some point, and they would not say yes or no, which probably means yes.
I heard them say yesterday.
Yeah. Also, they wouldn't give me a straight answer on if it fits in the hull of the current PDL system. It looks like it should, but they said because of liability issues with the wiring and that kind of stuff that they would not comment on that either. But I was like, can you at least wink at me and say that it looks like it would fit in the old PDL slot? And they wouldn't do that. So I don't know. I'm anxious to see the first YouTube video of someone trying to put it in a 106 PDL or something. Yeah,
I've got the guy right now on our pro staff team that's going to try it. He's like, I need you to find out if they'll sell the motor separate. And they did tell me no.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So
there's no reason for them to right now.
Right.
Yeah. Eventually, fast forward 10 years, they probably will. But they're going to make sure that they get the sales out of the whole unit before they start piecing it out.
Right.
But you almost wouldn't even, I don't know. Once it replaces, there's no need, if you can still pedal that system, there's no need to have the old pedal drive anymore.
Yeah, no.
Because you would just do that, and even if someone doesn't want to use the EPDL, you still have the capability to do it if you want to. And that should just be the new platform for all of their PDL units.
And that's honestly probably what would happen.
Yeah.
One thing I did remember I liked was the Osiris, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's like a jointed wake bait, but it's got a prop tail like a spy bait.
Yeah.
That thing's sick.
Yep. There was something from, what are they called? Knee Shine? Is that the?
I think so.
Yeah. So they had one that was it wasn't jointed. It was like a prop bait, a topwater kind of prop bait, but one of those ones that looks like you can almost walk it if you want to. So it's not like a whopper popper or something, right? It's like a spook looking body almost. And then the front of it had, the middle treble was a teaser, so it only had front and back trebles, and the middle was like this weird blade thing. And then the front had a prop on it that you could detach and make it a popper lip.
Oh, that's
so you
cool.
could like change this bait and have
Modular bait.
like modular, and it's like this big, like it's tiny. It was like 3 inches. Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
like that kind of stuff is why I like
That,
coming here.
yeah, that's the weird, because like some people look at it in that traditional bait mindset, and then some of us look at it and I'm just like, ooh.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of the name of it, Crush City, whatever that. But the Rapala plastics are pretty nice. Like the Ned rig, I will definitely buy the Ned rigs. One, because they come in a clamshell, which is nice, so they're not getting ruined before you even use it. I wish more people would do that for Ned rigs. But two, it's got like a taper to the tail, and so as it sits up in the water, it really does wiggle a little bit more. And it's made out of that TPE stuff, so it's kind of like Elastec-y sort of. But then what's weird is when you feel the other parts of that line, so like the Bronco bug and whatever the 4 other ones, they're made out of like a different type of plastic. So the Ned is really the only one that has that super stretchy kind of weird TPE style to it. The rest are like more natural, but it's they're designs that people have seen before, but I think they're making a play for durability more than they are like groundbreaking molds.
Yeah. That's exactly what we talked about. Again, folks, thanks to Dubro for having us up. It's the same thing that they're doing. A little bit of changes in plastisol, changes in plastic compounds. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, just make that wheel better.
Yeah, you don't have to make your soft plastic look like a space alien to make it unique. Like there are other aspects of it you can improve on.
How long has a Zoom trick worm been effective?
Exactly. Also, I say this a billion times. Like, there's only so many ways you can make a crawfish. There's only so many ways you can make a worm or a shad. Like people want us to invent new shad. Like no, that's what a shad looks like. That's what a bass eats.
Fake forage.
Yeah, it's like so these people. I was talking to someone over there the other day. Like, imagine if you, because everybody always says everything's a knockoff nowadays, like what we do. Imagine if you showed a caveman a Maserati and a Toyota Corolla. They would say those are the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like because that's, but they're not. They're very, very different. It's the same thing with a lot of this stuff. The changes on the big scale might be minor, but to us, like if you immerse yourself in this kind of stuff, there are big changes to these baits that you could hold side by side and be like, those are the same baits. No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's
so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you stopping by. I know you got a whole bunch of stuff to do, and I know just like last time me and you recorded, we could sit here
5
for the
hours
rest of the day. But so shout out, where people can listen to you. Any of our audience that doesn't know where to find you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just tackletalkpodcast.com is the easiest place to go. You can go on there. It's got all of our past episodes. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Google, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on it. We do a new episode every single Tuesday. And it's a lot more like we'll do gear reviews, we'll do tips, we'll do guest episodes. We've had like, everybody for your big names like Bill Dance and Jimmy Houston and Jacob Wheeler and stuff, all the way to like scientific things where we have aquatic biologists and we have people tagging fish for studies and that kind of stuff. So a little bit of everything. So if you want to go check it out, it'd be awesome.
Well, man, I appreciate it again, and thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you shortly.